Universes Beyond is such a tough thing to talk about because it's so frustrating when it's a property you don't care about being plastered on cards you like. But at the same time, when the design hits, it hits. If I could snap my fingers Thanos style, maybe wrong example to use here, I would keep everything universes within only. Yet, at the same time, I've spent an incredible amount of hours devoted to my Iron Man deck that I'm spending even more effort for a deck tech for. And likewise, for a Spider-Man deck I've poured my heart into. I like Assassin's Creed. I like Marvel. I love Lord of the Rings. Super big Lord of the Rings fan. And I'm waiting for the Dragon Age triple block, one set for Origins, Inquisition, and Veilguard. Dragon Age 2 is part of the Origins one. And this is the conflict of Universes Beyond. That you are confronted with fandoms that you might have chosen to avoid for whatever reason, valid. It's this struggle of learning when to shut your heart when Magic is the thing you don't care for, or worse, dislike. I don't like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And it's not a video about my reasons why I can't give two flips about the show. I recognize it's good, all of that, and actually, researching it more for my Resistance and Magic video, I am much more open to liking it. I recognize it's good, but I digress. I played Avatar cards for Standard. Love my Lessons deck. Combustion Technique? Cool. Accumulated Wisdom? Love it. Gran? Don't need to know who she is, don't really care. She loots, and she's a cost reducer, and Grangavan is my goat now. Grangavan! We even have Magic Avatar memes. And everything is fine. I'm alive, had fun, even if I hate the brand. Life moves on, and Universes Beyond is just fine. At some point when I'm competing, the card stops being about the card. When I Spider Sense a trigger, I'm not thinking about Spider-Man Peter Parker slinging in to stop my Quantum Riddler from warping out from existence. It doesn't matter what the card art or name really is. I hate seeing Ong's dumb face when Reddit shills their new dumb mobile game ripoff war game whatever it is, or their fighting game. But I don't even register Ong when I see 5 mana Ong when I'm playing against Ban Airbending. So what's the problem? They're just cardboard. Many times, even if it's out of universe, it doesn't even seem that out of place. Which I'll give props to the design of Avatar for. It felt like magic. And even as someone unfamiliar to the brand, it felt really cool triggering Toph, animating the earth itself to overwhelm my enemy with my spells. It felt really good, it's a cool card. And just like my irrational dislike for a beloved series like Avatar, alright, I'm glazing it, I know it's good, alright, calm down. It's a similar feeling of seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on cards. I don't have strong feelings about the Turtles. Well, maybe I have feelings about it now in ways Cartoon Network might not want to hear. Some people argue that there's this line of what fits within Magic World and what doesn't. If it's sword and sorcery and elves and goblins and wizards and whatever, we're all good. But if it's a hot dog cart with superior New York City water, unlike the San Francisco bagel water, that's where we draw the imaginary line of what's okay and what's not. Then the argument is then, I like this thing. Don't yuck my yum. Don't ruin my enjoyment when I kept my mouth shut for your trite fandom that I humbly respected. Honestly, I don't think arguing these gradations of what's acceptable or what's not, what you like or I like, really matters at the end of the day. Because if we really love Magic, and Universes Beyond gets more players to enjoy Magic, what is the harm? What is the harm in Magic making as much money as it can, as a business, through Final Fantasy to fund beloved sets like Lorwyn, and continue its long history of making more wonderful worlds we will return to? As of this video, Standard has an incredibly healthy and diverse metagame that is constantly jockeying between Cub and not Cub decks. So what is the harm of Universes Beyond? Maybe there isn't one. Maybe it's just all good, that we have more products, more cards to play with, and more properties we like that manifests in the game we enjoy playing. Now hold on, this isn't a glazing video. Don't worry, I'm not glazing the product for the sake of WotC, alright? Let's keep with me here. I know you're getting ready. I know you're getting to roast me here. Not a shill. I mean, kind of, but whatever. So, here's a problem. I can show you it's all good on the Magic front, that adding Spider-Man, Doctor Who, Jurassic Park, Star Trek, and SpongeBob doesn't actually matter. But if that's the case, why is the response so negative to the idea of Universes Beyond? Why is it so negative that people are willing to call enjoyers of Marvel or Ninja Turtles pigs that eat out of a slop trough? It's kind of, a strong accusation here. I think it's more than Magic. And what we see and experience, it's just a symptom of a much larger problem of marketing and the commercialization of everything. When we say Magic is becoming the Funko Pop of card games, what's the real problem aside from, being an irrelevant brand with products that fill a landfill? The problem is things just can't stand on their own anymore. We can't just allow things to grow at its own pace. We can't let it be successful by itself. Once it's successful, the long spider legs or tentacles of major corporations will then have to inject their brand here because we need to expedite the track, double, triple the consumer base, bring more brand synergies. Why have someone say a made-up name like Tarmogoyf when they could be saying Raphael? It feels a little wrong, and it's because we see it everywhere now, and there's nothing we can do about it. Let's be honest, because we're already being very honest here. We say vote with our wallets, but these are the most successful sets of Magic of all time. If Magic's brand was strong enough, I wouldn't see the comic books collect dust at my comic book shop. I would see Magic being the thing that ends up in other spaces, not the other way around. As much as we love Magic's story, and as awesome as some of it is. Remember War of the Spark? Remember that book? Remember all those other books in Fat Packs? I know they're fun to collect, but really they weren't that well written. We have to be real. Not all of Magic's brand is great enough to stand against an action figure toy line. That's just what it is. And it's this resignation, the feeling of yet another facet of our life is completely out of our control. That is upsetting. Yes, it's a hobby. And we probably shouldn't be this attached to a hobby. But if we're not attached to our hobbies, what are we supposed to latch onto? Our families? I have something to say about that to my mother. There's no control for longtime fans of Magic the Gathering to say, I don't want this in my space. There's no way to opt out without saying, I opt out of Magic, because this is Magic now, whether we like it or not. But this is the first time Magic players have experienced this. It's not just Universes Beyond. Looking at just Universes Within, it's a thing now. We thought Magic was over with the inclusion of Planeswalkers. You couldn't opt out of that, it's a new card type. You want to opt out of Commander overshadowing every other way of playing? Well, tell that to your LGS who is benefiting the most from running Commander Knights when draft barely fires. I know, little upsetting, Commander doing well is a good thing for the game. You've made it far enough of the video, you can yell at me for that one, alright? Magic is constantly changing. From Miraudon being not magic enough, to Lorwyn being not magic enough, to Kamigawa being not magic enough. There's always a line we look back that says, this is my Magic. This is what I understand as Magic. And I know we can't help but chase after what we are familiar with. But not even considering Universes Beyond again, I just didn't connect with the Duskmourn theme, but I enjoy Fear Missing Out as a card. The rooms are kind of cool. I didn't really get Aether Drift. Even though I love the idea of doing some inter-multiversal death race thing, it's a really clever idea to play with our worlds. Not everything is gonna hit all the time. And if we're being really honest with ourselves, not all of Magic actually hits every time. I wish I could talk about any of this without a crowd of players saying, "Don't ruin my thing." And likewise, I wish they can express their joy without snarky little like me saying, "Yeah, but you like slop." It's the antithesis of the gathering. And it doesn't have to be this way, but it is. And we have no control over that. And that is the most frustrating part of this subject. It's another reminder, another self-censor on an escape from a world that constantly tells you to censor yourself. Ultimately, it comes down to trust. It's a trust that either Magic continues to grow and the designs continue to contribute to healthy metagames that we all enjoy playing in, and these tactics of customer acquisition will lead to a brighter future with more players to meet and more enjoyable games to enjoy. Not a great sentence there. Or the trust that when Magic has continued its evolution to something you or I honestly can't enjoy anymore, we will be able to make the decision to part ways and find something we can enjoy. And that's totally okay, because that's just change. And that is the complexity of Universes Beyond. Anyways, who's up for some pizza time? If we're taking Universes Beyond ideas, here's my idea, all right? It's called Universes Beyond Bank of America, all right? And every pack that you put like $5 in gives you $20. Here's 2 videos to watch. This one's like the Resistance one that Rebel talked about. I don't really care, whatever. And then this one over here, I don't know. This one's gonna be another video. Just watch it or don't. I don't really care. Okay, good seeing y'all. Universes Beyond.